Pete here with the smallbusinessresourcecenter.com and Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. Just want to give an update for September 25th for, of course, a stimulus package, President Trump electing, or I should say appointing a new Supreme Court justice and more. So stay tuned. Well, Nancy Pelosi and the House Representatives already passed a bill to fund the government. The Senate is expecting to sign it, and then President Trump will, of course, agree. So there's no question there that this is going to happen. That's going to keep the government running till the end of the year. Tax collections are actually up much higher than were speculated. And keep in mind, most of the tax money goes to the state and local governments. Because that simple fact, the House or the Republicans are stating we do not need a $2.4 trillion stimulus plan that the House Democrats have been holding out for. That's why they propose a $1.5 trillion plan with a $500 billion extension, which would be automatic if necessary. I don't know what your thoughts are that, but that's basically what's going on. It's a pretty short story. President Trump, of course, is planning to appoint a Supreme Court justice by Saturday. Of course, that's tomorrow. There's 9 Supreme Court justices. They have a lifetime appointment. And the Senate Republicans basically said that they will agree by October 29th. Unfortunately, Nancy Pelosi said that she will try to impeach President Trump if he tries to appoint a Supreme Court justice. So, you know, my thoughts on this is how our government operates. It's pretty shady. The president's trying to do their job in the normal fashion. We have somebody else who doesn't want them to do their job and says, I'm going to try to impeach you to prevent you. Because, of course, if they try to impeach Trump, it prevents him and as well as the rest of the government from enacting laws, certain laws like this one. It also would cause problems with the stimulus package and the CARES Act. I'm sure a lot of you guys want that passed. So when you're looking at this type of thing, I think it's ridiculous. I'm just telling you the news. So that's what it is, unfortunately. You got to keep in mind that Nancy said that she's going to do this, and the Republicans said if she does try to threaten or, you know, set up impeachment on the president, they will actually they'll actually go against her and get her kicked out of the House. They'll file a motion for discharge to get her kicked out of being the Speaker of the House. So I don't know, you know, it's sad that you got to threaten someone with legal action because they're trying to do something just so they can get their own way. But this is our government. Nancy said in the past that they would not leave or go on recess until this is all agreed on and the stimulus package is taken care of. But now she's saying that, you know, Congress as well as her and other people want to campaign, and if they don't take care of things quickly, they're going to go campaign. So she's going against the own word of what she said just a couple days and weeks ago. Just to recap, the Republican stimulus package is $1.5 trillion, of course, with an automatic $500 billion extension if necessary. So that is $2 trillion. And the House Republicans want a $2.4 trillion deal. And, well, I don't know. I personally, my opinion is it's the Republicans are promoting what is necessary now. And I don't know. I would have to think that you agree. It has a stimulus checks. It has a PPP. Has more money for the EIDL. I am supportive of S4227, by the way. I'm going to have a link to the petition in this video, so I would suggest clicking that link, signing it, and sharing it. All the details are there. I actually made a video, too, on why S4227 is important, as well as the other things that I think are important. But back to this here. There's my shameless plug to help everybody. Okay, President Trump wants a second stimulus check to go out. He's stated that more than once. Of course, some people are saying it's just because election. I personally don't think so. Trump realizes that there are problems and he's trying to help take care of them. So they actually had the Problem Solvers Caucus, and I want to break this down. I know I mentioned it, but for people who are new, the Problem Solvers Caucus met and they came up with the ideas that are mostly in the Republican plan that they feel are things that are needed right now. That would be a stimulus check for $1,200, an extension of unemployment and PUA benefits, $450 a week for 6 weeks, and then $800 for the next 8 weeks. But keep in mind they want to cap it at your full-time income. So instead of getting more than you were getting being unemployed, you can only get that same amount. They also want food assistance, post office assistance, $25 billion for rental and mortgage assistance, and paycheck protection program lending assistance. They also have money for state and local governments, but not as much as the Democrats want, and it's only a limited amount. And keep in mind what they stated, tax income's actually higher than they were anticipating, and that's why they feel that they don't need that. There's also money for testing, treatment, and tracing of the coronavirus, as well as a stimulus check program which will pay $500 to dependent adults. In the past that didn't happen, but the government recognizes the need and saying just because an adult is dependent doesn't mean they should not get funding or assistance. So January 21st is when the extension to unemployment and PUA will be. There's $500 billion for state and local governments, $100 billion for the coronavirus testing, treatment, and care. And also they will have funding for child care providers because they realize that's been a big problem. A lot of people trying to go to work, or they can't go to work because their daycare providers not available or not working. Some of them don't want to be open because they don't want to get kids sick. It's a liability issue too. There's also $25 billion for farmers, and basically the $500 billion extension. So with this in place, I'm just curious why the Democrats are firm on their $2.4 million plan, and they do not want to be flexible to a $1.5 million plan, trillion dollar plan on what is needed now with a $500 billion extension. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but to me, I think that, in my opinion, the Republicans are giving what is important, what's needed, and probably what many of you want now. The only thing I think is really missing is, of course, the reform with the SBA, and that's why I have the petition for S4227. And my petition goes beyond S4227 because there's a lot of things that are necessary. One would be all businesses should qualify if they're legitimate businesses and not fraudulent. And when I say all businesses, there's some people with multiple businesses, they're giving them one loan and they're telling them they're not going to give them the other loans. Even though they're all separate businesses, have separate employees, have separate locations. So you got to keep in mind this is a small problem for a lot of people if you're an entrepreneur. Also, the PPP, keep in mind it has a $100,000 cap. But if you're a small business owner and you don't structure yourself like a larger business, you can have more than $100,000 in income, and they're capping it at $100,000, which of course is very unfair for those type of businesses especially. But if you're in a high income area like Washington D.C., $100,000 is not a huge income. So those businesses or people could be hurt too as far as that's concerned. But anyways, the petition's in the first link in this video. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. This is Pete with the Small Business Resource Center and Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. Have a great day.